So, Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 1 finally dropped. I have a review on my channel that you can go check out right now. But today, I'm going to stop and rank all 6 episodes from the baddest to the raddest. Now, just so you know, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I wasn't really a huge fan of the show. I thought it was alright. There's some good moments here, but overall, it was a really disappointing show. But here, I'm going to go into more detail, talk about episodes. There will also be spoilers involved. So if you haven't seen the show, go ahead and watch it. And before I get started, please take a moment to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below. What is your ranking of all 6 Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes? I want to know all that and more. What did you think of this show? And here we go into my ranking. Number 6. Coming in last place is part 4. Now, the big thing about this show that made me enjoy it is that it just wasn't a... It wasn't just a show that is exactly what Star Wars is, kind of boring. It was a show that was kind of cliche, but this was the most cliche episode out of all of them. Obi-Wan breaks into yet another area to find Princess Leia one more time. This was just the episode that didn't really connect with me, and the rest of the show didn't really connect with me either after this one episode because it was just so basic. It didn't even really have anything cool. Normally, I should have liked Obi-Wan walking around this place, killing stormtroopers, but I really couldn't connect with it. I really don't really have an answer to why I don't like it. I think it's just because it was just so basic and wasn't anything. Because, from episodes like episode 2, which was spoiler alert, I loved that episode, but that was just, it was just had kind of basicness, but it also was something different for the franchise. This one had basicness, but didn't offer anything different. And so this was the episode that I really couldn't just get back on board with the show like I did with episodes 1 and 2 and most of 3. And then we got episode 3, part 3. Now, this first half of the episode was awesome. It had everything I liked from the first episode, plus some more tense moments when Obi-Wan and Leia were on that little ship with the stormtroopers. It was just so intense, and the action was awesome. But then we get to the part where the lady brings them into her area, and it kind of dumps a load of exposition on you, and then the final battle with Darth Vader was not what I was expecting. When he came on screen, I was like, oh yeah, stuff's about to get good, and then it just didn't. It was like Obi-Wan running around with Darth Vader trying to kill him. Cool. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to see from the battle. So, with a fantastic start to the episode, I really thought this would be my favorite episode, but then it just... cool. It's Darth Vader trying to kill Obi-Wan by running around and smacking him with his lightsaber while Obi-Wan is about to die, and then dragging him through the fire. It wasn't even cool. It was just, very disappointing. So, after a fantastic start to the episode, this is mainly the part that really just hindered my love for the show. And then you got part 1, which this was the episode that I didn't really have any big problems with. It was just an episode, It got my interest to the show. It made me want to watch another one, and it didn't make me be like, yeah, this show is disappointing. It pretty much set up exactly what I wanted from the show. This originally was number 2, but the more I thought about it, I just don't really think this show was... I don't really think that this episode was as cool as the other ones on this list. I don't really think that they measured up that much. And if you put it in context to say that I didn't love the show, then it really makes sense. But this episode just interested me. It had some cool sequences, especially with Reva and Owen, that beginning sequence. That was pretty cool. This episode just was, it was an introduction to the series. An introduction to the Obi-Wan series where we see where he's at. We get the show established. I really thought it was cool how many characters they were bringing in. And that's it. It's a one and done. Get on with the show. And so it's an interesting episode. Didn't really have anything cool in it. But, it's an episode. It's a pilot. And it got me interested. So it worked. And then we got part 5. The show wasn't really the best. It didn't really have the best moments. But, it was a cool episode. And it really worked for me. You know, especially with the ending part was pretty cool with Reva and Darth Vader's pretty duel. That was the part that really got this episode working, and it got me mildly excited for the finale after I haven't really been loving the show, because that part was really cool, and it was much better than the fight in episode 3. Now again, it did kind of hinder my interest in the episode because it just felt so basic. You know, Obi-Wan's got to get a group of people out of here before the Sith kill him. Does it sound familiar? Yeah, that's what I thought. And so that aspect didn't really work. And again, I don't really like the plot about, you know, the Sith trying to get these guys, trying to get these traitors. I really just like the plot about Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader. But then, you know, there's a plot about all these guys, and it didn't really just fit in with the show, and this was the episode that really kind of fleshed out that plot, so that didn't really work. But again, as much as I wasn't enjoying the first half, then we got to the ending where Reva and Darth Vader duel, and then we learned that the one guy was still alive, which, the more I think about it, the more I realize, like, that plot line made absolutely no sense. But whatever, you know, if that final battle and the way that the show is going got me interested and pretty excited for the finale, you know, I count the episode as a win, and that's what this was. It was a pretty good finale to the episode, and it really, you know, I was pretty much anticipating the finale, and it, you know what, let's talk about the finale right now. Yes, that's right, my runner-up is the finale. Now, right before I made this video, after I thought about this some more, I had to realize that I enjoy the finale more after I thought about it. I enjoy the thought of some things that they did here. Now, obviously, that final battle was much better than the one in episode 3. Obi-Wan's battle with Darth Vader was honestly really awesome in this episode. And there were some nice emotional beats all around here. And, you know, even though it didn't really make sense about Reva's plotline, she's going around killing people because she wants to get back at the guy who killed people. It just really made no sense. But there's really some emotional beats in this episode. Now, it's not enough to save this entire series, but there is some emotional beats in here, and the action is really awesome. Now, I did feel like it went a bit weird. The Owen plotline was kind of weird here, but, you know, it really worked. And with the emotional beats and the way that the action played out in this finale, I've got to say, it didn't really make the show for me. It didn't really save the show. It didn't really make me think like, oh yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi was an awesome show just because of the finale. It didn't save it like I thought the Moon Knight episodes 5 and 6 did. But, you know, this finale kind of worked. And again, putting it in context that this is not a show that I love, it's easy to say that this was a pretty great episode in that context. But then, of course, number 1, we got part 2. Now, this was the episode that just felt like it was the most cliche, while also being the best. It was definitely something that I didn't expect Star Wars to go, and that's exactly what I wanted this show to do. Obi-Wan just beating up a bunch of guys was kind of out of character for him, but I still really liked it because the hand-to-hand combat here was pretty good. I was just, you know, it was a pretty great episode. It had the action moments. It had the, you know, emotional moments when he learns to use the Force again. It was just the episode that felt the most like I wanted this to happen besides episode 3. This is exactly what I wanted this show to be. And if the show continued on this route, I think I really would have loved it. But, you know, it just didn't continue on this route. But it's just a nice action-filled episode, and I really enjoy this one. So that's why it's number 1. So thank you for checking out this episode ranking of the Obi-Wan series. Please take a moment to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what is your ranking of the Obi-Wan episodes. I'd love to know also what did you think of the show. And thank you for clicking on this video. I have a 3 best, 3 worst, most disappointing, and most surprising movies of the year so far video coming up soon. So if you want to see that video soon, make sure to subscribe to join the Nerd Army. Peace out.